All right, folks. Welcome to the Sunday weekly live stream. Hopefully everyone had a wonderful weekend. What's happening with Bitcoin and where are we heading? Well, we're going to take a look at the tether chart here first. We're going to get some, see if we're going to get this to populate here. Let's see. What's going on, IJ Money? So I was a little late on starting the stream, but so it looks like currently, if we go to the weekly chart here on Tether, we can start to see that we do have some bearish momentum that is starting to pick up. Right, we have bullish divergence here on the average sentiment oscillator, and we can see that the bullish momentum here on the weekly time frame is ticking down. So that is a good start to see some price action in these markets. Yeah. No, I just was a little late getting to it all. All right, yeah. So basically, what we're looking at here is still in this channel. We're really looking to see, Tether kind of break this channel. That's really going to ignite probably this next run. We have yet to do that yet, but we can start to see. We're starting to see some of these altcoins pick up some steam. They're kind of rallying off their lows, like Avalanche here, putting in a nice weekly candle, right? Like nice pivot right off that Fibonacci level there. Let's look at Bitcoin real quick. All right, so Bitcoin still just in this consolidation, no changes yet until we end up breaking 71K or we lose the lows, right? So nothing really happening in terms of Bitcoin's price. Last week's candle was a bit of an indecision candle. We had a retest of this low, and we were not able to break back above 65K. All right. We did get momentum to cross above the bullish control zone, but as you can see that our momentum here is crossing a down on regular candles. On HA candles, we haven't crossed down just yet, so there's a bit of disparity there. But what we can also really see though is the weekly average sentiment oscillator is about to cross up. Okay, so that is something noteworthy. We haven't had a weekly momentum oscillator cross like this since October of 2023. As you can see, the deviation between the two, right? And so you can see that there is divergence forming on that oscillator. Okay, so that's implying that we could be seeing a major weekly momentum shift here on Bitcoin on the weekly time frame, the 2-week time frame. We can also think and see that. Yeah, we can check it, Z. The 2-week stochastic RSI did cross up. No buy signal confirmed on the 2-week. We need some closures above this 20 level. In terms of the short-term price action here, I think, well, our daily did just give us a buy signal. So we could be looking at some impending price action to the upside here in the coming days, maybe the next coming days or weeks. All right. But as you can see, we are still down sloping and still consolidating here. Like I said before, I think we need to see a break and hold above 66K so that we could see the top of this range. And if we don't, then we'll probably go up to test it again and, potentially reject this region and then maybe eventually break this low. And we could come back down to this 55K range to grab liquidity again if we run out of momentum up here. But based off the stochastic RSI and the RSI readings, I wouldn't say that that's necessarily what we're going to do, especially based off what I saw on the tether chart, right? So to me, yeah, maybe some more consolidation up here. We could just be range bound between 59K and 65K. That's a range right now that we've kind of just been ping-ponging in. We've been making higher lows since this low here, no doubt about that. So yeah, just some sideways action. We could potentially see some pushes up here based off the daily time frame, giving us that signal. Okay, the RSI is sitting here bullish at 54. Okay, so that is something noteworthy also. And our daily average sentiment oscillator did just kind of cross up. Okay, so it's looking pretty bullish right this very moment in time. You can see volume kind of tapered off here. I do suspect volume to come in maybe sometime tomorrow or sometime during the normal trading hours. So I would say it looks okay in terms of the technicals on the chart, the monthly time frame. Let's take a look at it. Our monthly candle right now, kind of just a back test candle, right? Not really anything, again, noteworthy. Aside from getting that retest at 59K there and getting a nice long wick off that region is good to see. It's good to see. But yeah, just the consolidation structure here. No real changes in terms of the monthly time frame. RSI is sitting bullish at 62. And our stochastic momentum oscillator is still kind of ticked down here. We're in the bullish control zone, but if you go to like the 3-week time frame, you can see we're about to get a swing up. So yeah, as soon as we start getting 2 and 3 week momentums to cross up above the 20 line, that's when we're going to see major momentum come into this market. All right, so we're almost there. We're not there just yet, but we're working on it. We're working on it. Okay. More consolidation is what I'm seeing. A little bit of a boring market here for the last 7 months. Yeah, we'll take a look at WLD. Is that WorldCoin or that's crude? I think you want crude, right? Yeah, I think we should really just look at U.S. oil if we're going to look at crude. Yeah, quite the candle that came in there. Oh, WorldCoin. Yeah, okay, WorldCoin. Sure. We can take a look at WorldCoin. Nice breakout. Very nice breakout here on the 2 and 3 week time frame. Weekly, consolidation. Beautiful breach of downtrend. It looks like we're going to go test that 255 region. That just seems like the most logical place for it to go. Yeah, and you're going into a weekly squeeze here. You can clearly see that. Your 3-day and 2-day here kind of showing you that we're in that squeeze. Looks good. You can see the higher lows coming in. You're testing the top of this range here and putting in a nice candle. Yesterday's candle, or the 2-day candle close, a bullish engulfing candle. Your supply zone, like I said before, is anywhere from like 255 to this 320 region here on the shorter time frame. But if you really zoom out and look at what it's doing like on a monthly time frame, this looks really good. This actually looks like SUI. SUI kind of made the same formations where it put in this higher low down here, and then it just went up to its all-time highs. So it looks a lot similar to the SUI chart. Really, you can see the similarities. I mean, you didn't have this big like bull flag thing, but you can see that it's a similar double bottom type of situation there on WorldCoin. Right? It's not identical, but it's similar. Okay. Yeah, very nice. Crow, yeah, we can take a look at Crow. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat, man. Appreciate that. That is greatly appreciated. I don't think I've ever seen you come into the stream, ZZZ, or maybe I have. I just don't remember. And I appreciate the super chat, my friend. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Crow on the monthly, not really looking too hot on the monthly time frame there. You can see that maybe bearish momentum is actually still picking up there on the monthly. The weekly also, you can see that we got a pivot here off the weekly chart. Bulls really not really picking this up. You're at the range lows here on the weekly time frame. There's got to be some better assets you can be looking at right now aside from the Crow chain. I'm not saying that this is not value areas for it, but if you just look at their monthly chart, does that look like something that is going to just rip on out of here? Probably not yet. We might even get like one more retest of this low. Okay. Just saying. There are some pretty good altcoin charts that we can look at that I was looking at. Chili's was one of them. Chili's is setting up. You see the difference on this chart, man, versus Crow. All right, this is a major bull flag. It's in a major consolidation structure that it's been in since the 2021 all-time highs. Yes, it's been going down and consolidating, but it's still, in my opinion, this is still a really, really massive consolidation structure. And, you know, holding the range lows here pretty good. You could maybe construe this as a wedge pattern or maybe just a big bull flag. I would say it's more of a wedge, but that's just me. And you can see the monthly is bullish, right? And the weekly is about to regain momentum on the weekly time frame. So this is something like you can see a nice rounding bottom here, right? And okay, where could this potentially go? Yeah, we can go test resistance here up at 9.4 cents. If we really get a lot of bullish momentum, we can go and test the trend line and then look for that break on the trend line to take out this neckline at 15 cents. That's almost a 100% move, right? And if you end up doing that, if you end up taking out this range high, and you come back down to retest this, trend line, then you're putting in like a massive inverse head and shoulders type of structure where you could then see, a lot of momentum shifting into this asset. This hasn't happened yet, but you guys understand what I'm saying. You can see what I'm projecting that could potentially happen here. This region, this 9.4 cent region, is a major level, right? You can clearly see support, breach of support, reclaim support, attempted rally and failed break, and then breach of support again. So this level right here is a major level for Chili's, this 9.4 cent region. Watch that level if you're interested in this asset. Looks like we have only a couple people on the stream tonight. That's sad. That's okay though. Yeah, SHIB coin. We can look at SHIB. SHIB's starting to try to round out down here. We had a nice weekly candle a couple of weeks ago, and it's just been consolidating at this region. It's very possible this asset can do one of these major types of movements again, given there's demand for this asset. Weekly not there just yet. It's encroaching upon a cross on the weekly time frame, and I would say that yes, this did breach this downtrend, and you might still consolidate here for a bit. You might even get one more sweep of the range low before you try to blast off into the top of this range, right? Mina protocol is another major setup here with a double bottom. A lot of these assets putting in macro double bottoms, and that's noteworthy. You want to really be paying attention to that. This was a falling wedge breakout that was identified months ago. It's since then retested its range low and confirmed a bottom. Can we look at ETH? Sure. We'll look at perpetual protocol too. Yeah, we'll take a look at it. All right, so ETH is still in the structure. I posted this on TradingView not so long ago. Nothing really much has changed here. Just riding along the demand line. I would say by like November, we might see some resolution on this structure. So we got a couple weeks probably here of sideways or down or whatever. No showing of bearish exhaustion just yet on the weekly time frame for ETH. You can see the 3-day though is starting to cross up, so we could just see some more consolidation down here. It looks like we confirmed another low, right? You can see that we're just continuing to, spring off this level, right? And so we could just be looking at some more consolidation before we really get a nice move. Okay, kind of like what we did up here, where we chopped up here like this. So it's the inverse for down here. Something similar to that type of wave structure like that. Perpetual protocol, one of my favorite tokens that I traded last year. We got this major rip out of here at 40 cents. This was pretty epic. Yeah, again, with reaccumulation happening at the range lows. A lot of these charts look very similar to this. A lot of these altcoins look like they're doing the same types of things. Spring back test of springs happening, reaccumulation, and your weekly, sitting neutral probably up on this one. Your monthly time frame also sitting, neutral 40 to 45 in the buy zone on the monthly chart. Long-term type of structures here. These definitely could be, structures where you see some of this type of stuff happen later on, and then maybe, you get into some sort of blow off top later on in the cycle. But I wouldn't say that this is ready to do anything just yet, but it looks like it's getting there. One that I personally have been buying is Illuvium, which is the gaming coin. It hasn't really performed just yet, and this may actually not play out. But you can see the distinction of this wedge pattern. It's very distinct here. I just think that this is a low risk area for a trade, and I'm still in the trade until it tells me otherwise. I think that this is very close to the range low, and you can see these wicks coming in here. I mean, again, it's possible that this just ends up taking out this low and makes maybe goes lower because there's not enough demand for this asset right now. But until it does that, I think I'm just going to stay put. Our weekly wave trend is deep in the buy zone on the weekly time frame, and I think that once this market does start to go, that these assets are going to go as well. So Aptos is another one. This was a beautiful double bottom. We saw TVL break out on this one. Very, very high likelihood chance that this is going to go back up to 17 bucks eventually. And this may actually, pull a price discovery move here soon. So Aptos is one to watch. Sui is one to watch. Those are all making moves with TVL breaking out. Yeah, STX we can look at. That's a major DeFi play for Bitcoin. I'm not really liking the price action so much here, right? We had a bounce off this region, and we're kind of rejecting the midline of this channel right now. Doesn't look the best. I mean, it doesn't look bad. Just doesn't look like something I'd be gung ho about going all in on down at a range low, because it's not. It's like in the middle of a range. So Chainlink, take a look at Chainlink. So Chainlink broke the downtrend, but then just kind of fell back into it. It's holding the trend line right now. It looks like it's trying to put in a bottom. I drew this out a while ago. It looks like a massive cup with handle type of structure. No real resolution on that just yet. And it's possible that this area could fail as a holding of a support, and we could come back down to like $9 or something. In fact, it might end up doing that. Right, the bearish momentum here hasn't really faded out just yet. It's trying to. You can see that it's starting to make lower highs on the momentum oscillator here, but hasn't really done so just yet. And the monthly time frame, I would say is neutral. It's like 45. Yeah, it's still technically in the monthly buy zone. But it's not like something that I'd be like, oh yeah, chain link, man, like let's rip it, you know, like not yet. Not yet. Let's take a look at total and the rest of the cryptocurrency markets here. Yeah, so monthly time frame is still just a consolidation structure. Very much so down sloping and very much so consolidating. Not much has really changed. A lot of sideways action right now. This market's very boring. It's trying to start to maybe pivot here by holding this range low, right? We've now made some higher lows here. Now what we need to see is a higher high. We need to break this region to really change the trend. Because so far we haven't really changed anything. We've just slowly started to pick up off those range lows. But our daily time frames are all showing some good stuff on the total market cap. All right. Total 3 is what I'm sure a lot of you guys are looking at, which is the altcoin market. The altcoin market actually broke out of this wedge. And we got a retest, and we didn't really get to see much follow through on this retest. Maybe we'll see it this week. I'd like to see a break of this $640 billion region here for total 3 is what I'd like to see. So we'll see if we get it. Looks okay. Yesterday's candle was a nice engulfing candle, and we're starting. You can slowly see we're starting to make higher lows. We got to take out that $640 billion region, and yeah, we'll look at the S&P and the stock market here shortly. We're looking at the dollar real quick. So the dollar breaking above 103, we talked about that as a potential scenario to have happen. And what we could end up seeing is the dollar break up to about 104.58, which happens to be that trend line confluent with that region. Yeah, that won't bode very well for risk assets. That happens. You can see that we had that tail end weekly bullish divergence. That's what's causing this asset to go back up, is that divergence on the RSI. So yeah, we'll see what ends up happening up in this region. But I think it's going to get there. We're at resistance right now, but I think it's going to probably go up a bit. How's it going, Sam? Look at the S&P. S&P is still trucking up here. Last week's candle, bullish engulfing candle. Going above the SAR parabolic trend lines, those don't deviate too far outside of the parabolic trend line like that without a pullback. So yeah, I would say that we're probably getting to a region where we're going to see a bit of a drawdown on the S&P. It may not happen, this week or whatever, but I mean, this was a pretty strong candle. I gotta say, that's a pretty strong candle on a weekly time frame. 2 week, monthly. Yeah, I mean, we're right at a Fibonacci level 2, right at the golden mean ratio. Yeah, I mean, you hardly ever see markets just rip through the golden mean ratio without any sort of drawdown. So I would be very skeptical up here of that. Okay. could be wrong, and we just go straight to 6,600, man, and just break this fib level, and it's just gone. I mean, the way these markets are right now, it's yeah, kind of crazy. But monthly RSI is very overbought. Sitting around 72, 73 region. We did get an RSI break, and yeah, man, we're in those zones where it's like careful on the risk side of the market for equities here. We're very close to coming into contact with this trend line. We might see a bit more upside here before we get I would say a major pullback. Yeah, that looks a bit scary. Anyways, that's the S&P. Tesla had a big drawdown because they launched their like Optimus robots or something, right? What happened here? Oh, we're just getting a back test. Okay, yeah. So this could just be a back test here for Tesla. Well, I don't know. That looks kind of double top-ish type of movement there. Yeah, see if you get a buyback this week on Tesla. We didn't take out this neckline here at 184.60. If you take out this neckline, this pivot low, we could expect to see Tesla come back down to 146 if that happens. If not, then we're just putting in a higher low. Even though this is a nasty, range high, retest. But yeah, I mean 200s, that looks like a pretty appealing area for a long. Okay, you also have the weekly bear div here on the RSI. That's pretty gross, man. Yikes. Yeah, I'd probably just steer clear of Tesla right now with that kind of technical setup. At least till you get a reset, man. I mean, that doesn't look so good. Ink on Pulse Chain. Yeah, we can take a look at it, man. So this is your 3-week chart, your weekly time frame. Momentum kind of topping out here. You can clearly see that. Getting a cross down on a weekly time frame. You want to see like a 2 and 3 day reset for that weekly, which you're working on right now. Your 2 day is still coming down. Your daily looks like you got the reset, but you still got some room, I think, to come down on ink here, maybe like 175 region. I mean, you maybe hold this region here. You could maybe see a potential inverse head and shoulder structure kind of developing. Maybe you want to hold this neckline, all right? You did break this downtrend here. Okay, you broke it. So yeah, a retest of this range is definitely in the cards. That happens to be confluent with this region right here. And yeah, if you end up holding this low here, I think you could be looking at a potential inverse head and shoulders pattern, which could then send you eventually back up to $8-9 in the next coming months. Because this action up, as soon as you break above like 320, this is just straight up action. So you break above that and you start consolidating here. Eventually, you're just going to see lots of upside. That's on the Trinity chart. I'm not sure what the DEX screener chart looks like on that. Let's take a look at it. Ink on Pulse Chain. It's weird. My thing isn't loading. Ink on Pulse Chain. Let's see. I'm failing to connect to the server. That sucks. I could probably get it here. So Ink has to be one of the biggest liquidity pools, right, on Pulse Chain. So here's Ink. Yeah. I mean, this thing's pretty wrecked. You're looking at log scale though, you could see, you know, you came up to the trend line and just rejected it. So, I mean, I would look for the buyback in this region here, or even as low as, you know, this 130 level. That would probably be value areas for buyers to step in if this level doesn't hold here. Is what I'd be looking at. Mackay Capital. See, maybe we get some tunes on tonight. What do you guys say? Plenty of meme coins launching on freaking Sui right now. You're in the camp of trading small time frames. Man. I traded this. I'm in made it to the bottom. That's happening. It's a double bottom on the hourly time frame and the 4-hour time frame. This is in a flag pattern. I mean, yeah, it's a new asset. You have volumes dying and drying, kind of tapering off here, but that doesn't mean volume won't continue to come back into this thing. It's the number 3 asset right now on the Sui chain. You can make some quick money on these. Not financial advice. We're talking about pulse chain assets. Look at 9mm down here, man. This thing is wrecked, dude. I picked up a little bit of a position on this down here. I think this has a chance to recover a bit. You know, a nice weekly candle close there. I think you know, even if you just use some Fibonacci levels here, I think, you know, you're looking at deep value here. You know, 886 fib extension type stuff. You know, I think that it's really possible and probable, if this continues with its momentum, that this asset can trade back up to, you know, 10 to, you know, 12 cents here, and just be a nice mean reversion trade. You know, I don't know the implications of what this asset's really going to do long term, but short term, you could see, you know, maybe some sort of structure, you know, that has been in development here on the weekly time frame. So looks decent. Wrap Bitcoin on Pulse Chain while we're looking at it. I think we're bouncing off the daily 200-day moving average right now. We're still above all these major moving averages here, so that's good. We were extremely overbought. Our true strength index did just cross down on the daily time frame. We were very overbought here at 80 on the RSI on the daily, and the 3-day here getting pretty extended too, around 70. And we put in some, you know, bear div here on the 3-day, and we're just pulling back, man. I don't think that this is necessarily a bearish thing to see. I think that we saw a pretty major rally off these lows on this asset. It was down here at 82 and ripped up to $240 and went up 200% in like a month. So that's a pretty big move, right? There goes WorldCoin putting in a nice 3%er. ENA is another one that looks pretty good on the chart right now. This looks like a pretty clear inverse head and shoulders type of structure, with your neckline here at, 38 cents. A momentum shifting structure in development here for ENA. All right, you have a major trend line here, and you have the inverse head and shoulder structure, implying a break is potentially about to happen. I think I lost everybody. We got one person watching the stream tonight. That's cool. I can cut the stream. If you're still here, man, just post something in the chat for me. Stream's dead, guys. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys next week. Hopefully we have some more viewers. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat tonight. Really appreciate that. That felt good. Thank you guys so much for rolling on through. We'll catch you guys next week. Hopefully it's a fun-filled week in crypto land. We've been hit with a spell of consolidation since March. Hopefully we break that spell soon. Talk to you guys next week. Have a wonderful week, guys.